Today we're talking about bones. Contrary to what it may seem like when you look at this channel, I do watch a bit more than just Gossip Girl and K-pop. Although, to be fair, I did get into Bones rather late. I think it was only 2 years ago. But once I got down to it, I watched those 12 seasons in less than a month. And it was during exam period, so that was great. But to be fair, it did help me. If I watch smart people, I feel smarter. So, watch Bones if you want to be a straight A student. I thought today we could rank some of the Bones characters. I actually am using a ranking that was created by someone else because you know what? I should start trusting people with things like this. I will link it down below if you want to, do it yourself. The tiers are Marry Me, good people, boring, not horrible, and Would Kill Them, which I absolutely adore the last tier. Okay, you know what? I actually did not look up anyone's names. So we're going based on everything that I actually do remember, which I do believe is a piece of information regarding the character.
Spoiling everything!
Okay, Angela. That's going to be kind of... I'm starting with a hot take, maybe. I don't know. Angela for me is not horrible. I found her kind of annoying. I think the further we went with the seasons, the better she got. But especially up till season 5 or 6, I could not really get behind her. Okay, Zach. Zach was good people. I liked him. I enjoyed his social awkwardness. Okay, there's the whole thing about certain Bones characters being very neurodivergent coded. And Zach was clearly amongst them. So it was, oh my God, Michael Vincent? No, Nigel. What's his name? Nigel. Nigel was the intern who was British, right? Okay, never mind. Names. Clearly not my forte today. Anyways, Zach was amongst those. Was it accurate? Debatable. It was not a good doctor, that I will say. I don't think anything on Bones got that terrible. But I enjoyed Zach's character. I kind of wish we saw more of him. I do have to say that my favorite dynamics of the team, even though I do like a lot of the interns, that's probably the dynamic from season 3. And Zach is a huge part of that. Okay, what was Girlie's name? Not a clue. I'm going to put her into not horrible. I liked her relationship with Aubrey. And she was kind of cookie. Kind of crazy. Did she not grow up in a commune? That was the thing, wasn't it? I think I liked her a lot more than I liked the psychiatrist who came in to replace Sweets, that I will say. But I was not a huge fan. Nope. Okay, fairly certain her name is Hannah. Fairly certain. Now, I did say I watched the entirety of Bones in a month. I will say I skipped the beginning of season 6. And by beginning, I mean the episodes when she was around. I could not. I was getting impatient. I just wanted Bones and Booth to get together. So, would I kill her? Metaphorically, I guess I did. I skipped it. Okay, Camille, Dr. Camille Soroyan. I love her. I also love the very interesting way that they introduced her in a way that really should make everyone hate her, because she was Booth's love interest, even though we all knew that Booth and Bones were supposed to get together. And yet, she is usually listed as everyone's favorite, so I love the way they just went with her arc. And I love how she was very much no bullshit while simultaneously wearing heels. I love that. Because just because you like to dress yourself well does not in fact mean you are shallow. Loved it. Okay, is that Oliver? That is in fact Oliver. he was kind of annoying. He was kind of annoying, wasn't he? I know that was the point. I do have to say, if he was in more episodes, I don't think I would have enjoyed the show all that much. Okay. Nigel Vincent, that's what I'm sticking with. I'm fairly certain that's his name. Good people. Seriously. I don't like where his arc ended, let's put it this way. But I enjoyed him a lot. Or there were like this weird storyline where he would tell people that he was doing things with women that he was in fact not doing with it. That was a bit weird. Regardless, I loved the fact that he was just spewing facts. Partially because I feel like I collect useless knowledge. Not to that extent. Like, I wish I had the, space in my head to do that. I think it was an adorable quirk. And he was just... I missed him. Okay, Booth. That's Sweets. Oh my god, this is why I should be wearing glasses. I cannot do contact lenses. I cannot touch my eye. I tried. I cannot. Okay, Sweets. Sweets, Marry Me, hands down my favorite character. Again, one of the reasons why season 3 is like my perfect dynamic. Because we've got Camille, and Camille is no longer with Booth. We've got Zach, and we've got Sweets. Sweets, I genuinely believe he was the heart of the show. And so when he was no longer part of the show, I think the quality dipped significantly. I loved his relationship with Booth specifically. I loved his back and forth with Bones and their fights between their, different fields. But Sweets was genuinely, I think, one of my favorite characters. Okay, Plan, that's Aubrey. Oh my god. This is like, I'm at an eye doctor and I'm going through assessment. You guys can assess me. The assessment is I should be wearing glasses, and I don't know why I'm not doing that. Okay, Aubrey. You know what? I genuinely believe he was a good person, and I didn't mind his character. I think if you introduced him in a different way, not in a way where he was supposed to be, the new Sweets, I think people would have enjoyed him a lot more, and I really liked him during the whole Booth goes on a gambling spree storyline. I really enjoyed him then. Okay, Caroline. She was great. She was fantastic, okay? She was, again, one of the better characters. And unlike Sweets and Camille, I don't think she was featured all that often. And I loved the fact that even though she was, the woman of the law, and she was very much into upholding said law, she was willing to do what is right, which I do appreciate. Max was good people. I liked his... Okay, was Max good people? Maybe not during, Bones' childhood, but I liked his character. I don't like where his character ended. I appreciated his growth during the series. I love how his first instinct always was, however, to go for the kill. If someone was making Bones' life difficult, I agree with that. That's a parent you need in your corner. Okay, Palant. Okay, I would not kill Palant because I do believe he's one of the better villains. I'm just going to... I feel like I need a tier for Palant specifically. Okay, let's say not horrible. In the sense that he was absolutely horrible as a human being, but he was not a horrible character. I do believe, hands down, best villain. Yeah, I'm missing a tier. Okay, whatever. This is what we have. This is what we're working with. Okay, Jack Hodgins. Okay, see, Jack at the beginning. No, you know what? I'm lying. Okay. I don't like his last storyline where he was treating Angela like a piece of crap. That was very annoying. Understandable in the sense that he was going through a lot. Still annoying to see. And I think it lasted a bit too long. Like, they were really testing our patience with the guy. Nevertheless, I do enjoy him as a character. I like the fact that he was very much... You know what? He was a rich person, simultaneously believing that the rich were corrupted and were controlling the countries from the shadows. Interesting. I like the fact that he was paranoid. Or maybe accurate. Difficult to say. I do like that he had his very childlike enthusiasm with the experiments and everything. And I genuinely do believe that to those closest to him, he was quite a good friend. Not, counting Angela when he was treating her like a piece of crap again. I did like Jack. Okay. What is your name? Like, that's the, very macabre. Saying that in English did not feel right. Okay. I do know who he is. I do not know what his name is. I do believe he was kind of a one-trick pony. Like, it was funny at first. And then he literally had two things. He was permanently displeased with life, which, honestly, understandable. And then the fact that he was really into some messed up things. Not my favorite intern, I'm going to say. Okay, Finn. I liked Finn. What I don't like is that he disappeared. Like this, poof, all of a sudden, he was never here. Like, I don't know what happened. What I do also enjoy is the fact that the guy appeared also in PLL, which is, I love when my shows are like crossing over. It's great. Like, Jack Hodgins, he comes up in, I think, the episode of Friends where Phoebe is giving birth to the triplets. So, yes. If you didn't know, now you do. But no, Finn, I think he was a decent intern. And again, I like his back and forth with Hodgins. I think that's one of the reasons I like Hodgins, is that he had really good chemistry with a lot of people. Okay, Clark. Okay, now Clark was boring. Yeah. Clark was boring. I didn't mind him, but he was not the most exciting character to follow. Now, was he? Okay, who's that? Oh, Aristu. Okay. If we're being fair, I think my dog is getting interested in what is happening outside. I think the only reason why I remotely liked Aristu is that I liked his relationship with Camille. But as a character of his own, I like the juxtaposition of him being a man of science and a man of faith simultaneously. And I like how the show attempted to address that. Other than that, I think take his relationship with Camille out of the equation, and I don't really have feelings about him. Okay, Daisy. I think my feelings about Daisy are the same as my feelings about Aristu, which is take her out of her relationship and I no longer really feel much for her. I left her with sweets at the beginning. Then it was, meh. But then when she was left alone, first of all, she was just a sad reminder of the fact that, Sweets is no longer here. I don't think I liked her that much on her own. Yeah. I'm surprising myself kind of right now. Okay. Let's go with Wendell first, which Wendell's going to boring. No. I only cared about him when he was doing wacky experiments with Hodgins and when he was dating Angela, because I was like, when are we going to finish this and stop pretending that, Angela and Hodgins are not getting back together? Now, Booth and Bones. Bones and Booth. Okay, I do believe that Celie Booth is a genuinely good person. I do have to say that. However, and this is just my own perspective skewing everything, I think Booth would drive me absolutely insane if he were to be in my life. Not with, plenty of his good traits, like being very supportive, being dependable, and all of that. There is just something about Booth that infuriates me. And that's why, as much as I enjoy Bones and Booth together, and I do believe from a narrative standpoint, these two were meant to be, in reality, I find it hard to imagine that such opposites actually found a way to work. And since I suppose I see myself as a bit, okay, you know what? I don't see myself that much as Bones. Maybe if like Camille and Bones had a kid, maybe. But I think because of the fact that with a lot of things, I'm leaning way more towards Bones. I'm just looking at Booth and I'm like, I don't understand you. And so that always colored my perspective. And as for Bones herself, she was good. I would not want her to marry me. I think I liked her a lot more at the beginning. I think the further we went, the more they kind of started to becoming a bit ridiculous with, all the things that she didn't get. I think we went from her being neurodivergent coded to her just suddenly forgetting everything that she has already learned throughout her journey on the show. So I liked her at the beginning a lot more. And that's it. That's our wonderful ranking of Bones characters. If you want to know more about my opinions on Bones, like, specific seasons, maybe ranking villains specifically or ships, let me know. And do let me know which characters you loved and which ones you loved to hate. And let me know, what's your opinion on Silly Booth, huh? Okay, that's it for today. If you want to know more about me, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, and we'll see each other in the next one. Bye-bye!